Other interesting business news, you have Nissan to delay EV plans in Mississippi as the EV trend is slowing down to a EV on fire. Some metaphor to that effect. Now, this comes to us thanks to LinkedIn News, where they have one of their, I was going to say, bastardized vehicles. It looks like a Prius just ate McDonald's for a year. A really bloated Prius with a Nissan logo. That's my first impression of this Nissan. Now, this comes to us thanks to James Callan, and they say, quote, Nissan is delaying plans to expand production of its new EV vehicles with its factory in Canton, Mississippi. As industry EV sales advance at a slower pace, consumers have become hesitant to buy EVs, citing high prices and concerns over charging, according to JD Power. They note that Nissan, which currently sells 2 EVs in the US, previously announced plans to build 5 new models in Canton. According to CNN, the automaker now says it has, quote, adjusted its timeline for production of new EVs. However, they are still on track to unveil a total of 19 EVs worldwide by 2030. I mean, that'd be almost... They might be able to sell it to all 19 people who want it. Again, Nissan has made some big cuts throughout the years in terms of... They barely survived going bankrupt a couple years back. The CEO kind of gutted the company, which they had to, because, again, they're going to go out of business, so they kind of saved the company, but also ruined the company, because quality materials and just reliability kind of went down the drain. Calling out you, whoever designed the CVT transmission. Things are trash, to say the least. And it's also, EV trend is slowing down, or perhaps a more funny metaphor would be the EV sales are low on power, the battery's dead, it's kaput, it's on the fritz, the lithium ion has exploded. Whatever you prefer, they are slowing down to a snail's pace, or perhaps a vintage Prius would be more accurate. Because I think partially because people don't have money to spend 5, 10, 20, 30 grand on a new battery when it inevitably goes bad, which is the Achilles heel of EVs. Granted, with technology, there's always that caveat. There very well may be a new magical substance or a new battery that will make it last a million miles. It might come out without tomorrow. I mean, I don't really think so, but there's a small possibility. When it comes to Nissan EVs, Nissan was an industry leader. You gotta give them credit. I mean, EVs for the most part, in terms of a mass scale production, the Nissan Leaf was one of the first, and it was a very aggressive price point. People laughed at it because at the time it had very rudimentary low mileage capabilities, but they did produce it. They were one of the first larger automotive companies to go big on EVs. Now, it's actually astonishing that they didn't expand more with that, and I suspect because they lost money on every single... I don't think they made a profit on those. There's such an aggressive price point. But again, they were at one point, I mean, Tesla is obviously the big industry leader everyone references when it comes to EVs, but Nissan was one of the first ones. But again, first of all, how many people on Nissan? That's a debate in and of itself, though. The 400Z is kind of a cool, neat car. And it comes with a stick shift, as every vehicle should have by default. But yeah, putting the pause on EVs, I think, is definitely a prudent business idea for Nissan. They should probably focus on what they do best, which is awkward pause. Kidding, I'm not a politician reading a prompter like some would do. But, I mean, I have one friend who loves their truck, but they're not great at selling trucks in terms of market share. It's kind of dominated by American companies and Toyota. Really good at subprime auto loans. That's what Nissan's best at in terms of you look at where they cater, where the majority of the audience comes from. And it comes to EVs, if you're on a budget, you're not going to buy them. So I think it's a good idea that it's slowing down their EV plans. Let me know, do you know anyone who has a Nissan in general? And then do you know anyone who has a Nissan EV and really likes it and has owned it long term? What's that ownership process been like? As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leave us a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.